In 1943, the Allies would invade Italy. This campaign would last for nearly 2 years. The German and Italian troops would put up a formidable defence of the country. But an event in 1944 that no one saw coming would cause the Allies unnecessary trouble in the push towards Rome. In this video, we look at the volcanic eruption of Mount Vesuvius and its impact on World War II. The Italian campaign often plays second fiddle to the campaigns on the Eastern Front and the invasion of France. But the fighting in Italy would see some of the fiercest battles of the war. It was seen as an opportunity for the Allies to make a push towards Germany through the so-called soft underbelly of Europe. But the Germans weren't having this and strengthened the defences in the country in preparation. This meant that once the Allied invasion of Italy began, they were met with almost immediate resistance. One of the keys to success in Italy would lie with the air power at the disposal of the Allies. During the initial stages of the campaign, bases in Sicily would be used. But as they slowly made a foothold on the Italian mainland, former German and Italian airstrips would be utilised, as well as the creation of new ones. One such airstrip acquired by the US Air Force would be the Pompeii airstrip. If that name rings a bell, it's likely because you've heard of the eruption of a volcano which decimated the city in the year 79 AD. Fast forward to 1944 and the airbase occupied by the Allies in the same city. A stone's throw from the airbase is Mount Vesuvius. This intimidating volcano was not thought of as a threat in any way, with its last recorded eruption in 1908. But as March 1944 rolled around, Vesuvius would begin to wake up. At this time, the 340th Bombardment Group of the US Air Force was stationed at the airstrip. This mainly consisted of B-25 Mitchell bombers. On the 17th of March 1944, plumes of smoke began to emit from Vesuvius. By the 18th, the eruption was fully underway. Enormous ash clouds burst from the main crater and sent smoke into the sky. Pieces of lava were thrown up to 16 kilometers or 10 miles from the eruption site. Lava would begin to flow out of Vesuvius, and as it barreled down the mountainside, it would destroy a number of small villages. Huge boulders and rocks would be catapulted through the sky at random intervals. The US troops stationed nearby were helpless to stop the destruction. One of these described what he saw. Flame, sparks and lava are being thrown from the crater like rice at a wedding. Vesuvius would continue to erupt until the 23rd of March. During this time, the lava continued to flow whilst ash clouds would blanket the area. An estimated 88 of the B-25 Mitchell bombers stationed at the Pompeii airfield would be destroyed or severely damaged. This being far more than any of the efforts inflicted by the German Luftwaffe. Thousands of Italian civilians would be evacuated from the surrounding villages and cities. This caused a logistical issue for the Allies, with the new influx of refugees. An estimated 26 civilians would die as a result of the volcanic eruption, but no military deaths were reportedly associated. The initial cleanup would take months, but the rebuilding of the destroyed and damaged villages would take years. Ultimately, the damage inflicted to the Allies as a result of the eruption would be minimal. Many of the damaged B-25 bombers would be repaired and put back into service. The Allies would continue to push on through Italy, knocking through the various defensive positions, such as the Gustav and Gothic lines. Victory, though, wouldn't be secured until the end of the war in Europe in May 1944. But the eruption of Mount Vesuvius is certainly something remembered as a strange and surprising event of World War II. As always guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to expand your knowledge and join the growing Premier History community.